Hey, everybody. This is the weekly Chris and Lance show. What we've been doing is I set it up so that Chris, the 9-dan, plays Crazy Stone at some 3-dan, 5-dan level. And I ask questions along the way. Why is he doing this? This doesn't make sense to me. How did he come up with this? Today, we're going to do a little bit differently. I played Crazy Stone at 1-dan level. And I found there was things that I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing. I didn't really know how to think about a situation. So I'd love to run it by Chris and see what he says. So that's the format, the assumption, and here we go. I'm the White Stones. I always kick it off one. And you all know this, but if I kick it off this way, see how Black's playing in the friendly area? And this way he's playing in the white area. So this isn't bigger, it's just easier, in my opinion. I don't like this Joseki for white because Black's just all his stones are speaking the same language. And I find that I tend to get in trouble with that.
You don't like the influence, huh?
I don't like he's got influence on the left, influence on the right, center oriented. That's what I don't like.
Okay.
It's not natural for me to simply take care of it.
Yeah.
I'll miss a tempo and it's like, where did that huge moyo come from?
Yeah. Definitely it's a skill. So there's nothing wrong with avoiding it. I think both are fine.
Right. Yeah. So I played this gobs and gobs of times just in an attempt to get used to it. And I'm far better than I used to be, getting less trouble, but still bothers me. So I went this way. Now, there's something about this Joseki that's somewhat special to me, and that is white shape is, in my opinion, very strong. Holy cow, that looks like life. While those three black stones look so heavy to me. And it's like, still, I don't trust those black stones. They, of course, they're going to be fine, but they have a heaviness.
Yeah.
Your input on that?
I would agree. Black usually needs to spend a move to save it. If we play something on the top, like O17, for example,
You have control.
like some kind of Tanuki and say, okay, white got a group, I'm not going to let him expand it, then something like this can be very hard to deal with. If black has to make a super cramped base like this, white's usually pretty happy in the lower part of the left side, and it's usually not a great idea. We see this kind of cramped black shape a lot, sort of in reverse in the low Chinese when white approaches black's corner.
Right.
And white doesn't like that result either. So there's no reason why black shouldn't play this, I think. It's perfectly reasonable.
Oh, right. But I'm saying, but in my opinion, black still has an awkwardness to his shape that's going to come into play later.
Yeah, something that looks like, the D12 attach or the E13 press or, anything like that makes it ask some questions later.
Okay.
This one's interesting to me.
Let's talk about white's next move. And now I'm going to first tell you, and this is all for the viewers, right? Tell you my thoughts on the subject. And then the idea of, hey, I got someone to correct me is, to me, thrilling. Okay. So black's A stone, low and settled.
Yep.
So that in my mind, that makes the left smaller. Now I double check that and I go, well, does this bother me? No, he's low on the left. It doesn't bother me. It's something, but it doesn't bother me. Okay. Next, we have big moves. And here, it's like it's not as wide, and yet I can do something on top. On the bottom, I can't really do anything.
Okay.
So I felt so unsure about this thinking. So you tell me.
I wouldn't play this one personally. I don't think it's bad. But kind of in the same vein as the left being small because of A, white also has a strong group on top. And so black is not really interested in fighting you for it. If we play on the top, black might just back off. And yeah, you can do something, but black is happy to develop the star point. It's fine. The thing that looks interesting for me is that we gave black A, which impedes the development of our own star point in the bottom left, and black has a stone at Q4. So if I'm going to favor an approach as white here, I would actually favor O3, just out of the whole board logic of developing my D4
Okay.
stone.
Okay. I think I just grasped something. So let's choose a different Joseki for white, which turns out it's the same concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would never dream of this move because white's low and settled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to compare this to now I'm not settled.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something which might include this move.
Mm-hmm.
But when I make this shape, it's not,
Yeah.
I don't have an open skirt. That's what I miss. So I am a settled group. I'm not low, but I'm settled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay. Good. If I thought of that, I would have known in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just didn't think of it. And now I don't want the top. I'm already good there. I went in. What do you think?
Seems fine. Looks normal to me.
Okay.
I like
And
your invasion more than the new AI type of thing here. The
okay, let's start with this. Wrong idea.
uh I dare hesitate to call it wrong, but it's very concentrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like there's still an invasion at K17
Still an
or
invasion and building on something that doesn't need any help. Yeah.
yeah, it's like we make another group on top. Why? We've already got a
Right.
strong group there. If black comes in on the top, we're gonna give it to him anyway. It's
Now, what's the AI thing you were talking about? Talking about?
so usually it's this. And then from this point, black is typically deciding if black wants to answer A, B, or C.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm not going to go into detail, but like it's a very fast way for white to sort of get another position on the top that can expand or move to the center or become something. I don't think you need it here. In this position, what I see is that we're helping black get really thick, which develops his D stone, and black is fully prepared to approach now. And we have a follow up, but we're playing in black strong area. It's not that great. We have
Uh-huh.
weaknesses on the top. It's not that great. So I like your just simple invading the corner. There's less risk to this move, I think, long
Uh-huh.
term.
Okay, good. Boom, boom. And he plays this way, which I don't mind.
Oh.
We go to the next spot. Seems logical.
Mm.
I would never want to do anything but 3-3 here. Would you?
So I would consider 3-3 as my first choice. If I considered anything else, it'd be J3.
You have control. Show me.
Um,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
like just something like this.
And treat 03 lightly for the moment. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the thing that informs that decision for me was actually Black's choice of move on the side here. I don't like this move by Black at all. Black had a fourth line position that was really good for developing the center, and then made a closing move on the third line, which is not congruent with that idea. Later, White's going to have things like this attachment, this press, this knight's move, the cap, a number of different ways to reduce Black's influence naturally. And it makes his stones on the bottom and his Q14 stone not work well together anymore. So I'm less inclined to need to save the O3 stone.
Okay, just a second. Man, you have this million thoughts in your head at once. Okay. Let's start here. Black's upper right group. Give me a break. Really? You're going to attack that group? I don't think so. It's Heck, we'll just counterattack and just get out so easy. It's not a problem. Am I right so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So black using this move as defense is just way too slow. As
Yes.
far as development goes, black would far prefer to develop center somehow, do something, let's go outside, and that would be later.
Yes.
Okay, next, how, oh, you also said, I didn't know if you meant it, A makes B bad, is basically what I heard you say. How in
Yes.
the world was that true?
So he had a really good position for developing towards the center. A lot of good central control. This stone creates a liability with that plan. White already has a natural reduction against A. You
Wait,
don't have to
repeat
fight
that again.
for it.
Repeat that again. That was over my head. Repeat
Okay.
it.
May I have control?
I don't know. Have you been good today?
You decide. If we look at something like this, right? You were mentioning before you don't like it when your opponent's stones all speak the same language. Like this, all of black stones speak the same language. Black
Yeah.
has pretty much almost uncontested dominance of the center right now. It might be hard to see it, but white doesn't really have a lot of high stones to fight this. You have this one, you have d4, but d4 isn't developed yet. Black can bully the corner a little bit. When you play a stone like this on the side, you leave behind natural reduction moves that make it very, very hard for black to fight in the center.
I see.
So
So
when I
A not only is bad because it's a defensive move and territorial, which is too slow, but now you can't use your natural center moves for center.
yeah, so
Oh, why didn't you just say that?
it's hard, right? So when he says I'm gonna build with this big scary high pincer, I don't care as much because you're already reduced.
I see. Okay.
You know,
That's
so
how whites move.
mhm.
Okay.
I would still invade probably, but that would be my other consideration in the position would be the
Right.
counter
Makes sense. Okay. Good. Boom, boom,
Nice
boom,
having translations for my thoughts.
boom.
Putting them into English is hard. It goes on so fast in my head.
Yeah. And ignoring here, no problem.
Yeah, perfectly fine. This is where I would do my signature ask him a question on the side move.
Do you mean this?
Yes. Not even because I think I'm going to live there, but he has a wall and I want to see how he wants to use it.
Interesting. I want to expand on that a little bit.
Mhm.
White plays Gote. What can black do in the center where white says, I wish I would have played Q10? Is there something?
Maybe something around N11 would be the natural move that comes to mind.
N11. And now white says, I wish I would have played this earlier.
Yeah. So
Black's
now,
doing some big stuff. Okay. I so often don't see the right coming. All of a sudden, it's a right hook to me. And I'm like, where'd that come from? Well, no more right hook.
yeah.
And again, for the viewers, no, what's White's, oh, what's White's expectations? Nothing
Nothing.
other than I'm going to get information. It's
Mhm.
all I want, information. Yeah.
And
That's
this is,
hard for Q players. Play
yeah.
moves that don't do anything, just ask a question.
Mhm.
That's a hard concept.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So one might even say a move like whatever is good timing.
Yeah. I like it. I had a teacher at one point, not a super steady teacher, but like sort of a one-off with I forget which bro it was, but I asked him about timing for reducing things like this, and he mentioned when it's about to become three-dimensional is usually the last moment you have to break in
Oh, when
easily.
it's about to come three-dimensional.
Yeah.
I
So we
like
see
it.
the
I'm big
wall.
on three dimensions. I'm big
Yeah.
on that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when black comes to the center, black is now three-dimensional. You've got the wall, that's the first dimension. The extension stone at R10 is the second, and the third dimension is when it comes to the center. So
Yeah.
you get there before it goes to the third dimension, and that's usually the best timing.
I usually think of dimensions as in someone has a weak group and it's a stick. Quick, make a right turn.
Yeah.
So you get one right turn, you got two eyes already, one on top, one on. It's like,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, good. That's something for me to write down when he's about to make it three dimensions. I like it. Okay. Gote.
Yep.
But correct timing here, right?
Yeah, seems fine. He already sealed M3, so it makes sense to
Right.
go the
But
other
this
way
has
before
become
he gets
Sente
pulled.
now.
Hmm.
So I would call this necessary personally.
Mm-hmm.
And this should be here, right?
Yeah, he didn't jump. That's
Yeah.
Now he doesn't get the right side at all.
Right. Like, oh, it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another thing I think that's hard for Q players too, because they'll block it and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm keeping the right side." It's like actually, you're
Yeah,
giving it
that's
away.
the hole. So you're giving it away. Yeah. So when I see this, there's the center, which I'm really weak on timing. And then there's, well, now black can develop this area and kind of hard to stop him because he also has an invisible stone here. It's like, okay, there's some real stuff there. That's
Yeah.
why I went here. Am I correct that you would say this is becoming more and more important?
I think the right side is the most important.
Okay.
Comparatively, him getting a Gote move in the center in this particular case, I think is actually bigger than him getting F3.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's not usually going to be the case, but White's got 017, which is a low stone that it's a bit soft in this Joseki. And so the center can grow quite aggressively if
Yeah.
black plays there first.
Yeah.
F3, it can't really be an aggressive move. White's already defended at the corner. White can make one kick exchange and then leave it.
Wait. That last paragraph was over me. You have control.
I was saying, just to play away, this can't really be aggressive. The White's already defended.
I see. So it's
Yeah.
Gote, and if I want to respond, that's fine too.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can make one exchange, but it's the F3 is never a real threat.
Okay.
But if we imagine something like this, or even this one, this 017 stone is quite a bit soft. If black is able to develop in a very fast and aggressive way, it's
Yeah.
looking scarier and scarier here.
Good. So to me, this is big. As I said, one of my weaknesses. Oh, I'll find a way later.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, when it's ready to become three-dimensional. If I can remember that, that's going to impact my game. Okay. I played, he played. For some reason, it's a bot. That's why. Okay.
I was about to say, because I don't think black has made a single right move in the last 5 turns.
Okay. Then I started this way. I guess I would do it this way if I had another, but yeah.
They're both okay.
And this is still good.
Yeah, especially if you play R6, this one's really good.
R6, you're saying this is even better? What you just said?
Yeah, it's a natural follow-up.
Okay.
It's easier to find this move actually with R6 on the board if it's something you've never seen before.
Uh-huh.
It's a rather common shape when you've got something on the second line.
My thought here was I'm a little bit concerned that this white stone's going to do anything serious in his areas. Pretty gosh darn deep.
Sure.
Was my thought. I understand that's not a great thought. But I'm thinking, well, if he attacks, then I got two moves in his area, and that I can handle.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if he doesn't, then when he goes and gets his outside wall, well, that's when I'm going to come in and negate the wall. So that was my plan. But when I hear your thinking on the subject, it makes way more sense. Okay. He comes down, I come up, he goes there. That's exactly what happened. Okay. And pop out. I love these white stones. Perfect lightness. It's like, aren't they pretty?
Yeah, it's a nice sabaki.
Yeah, very pretty
Also,
Sabashi.
something that's hard for Q players to do.
Yeah,
But
Q
this
player.
is the
Go
no
ahead.
expectation. This is the no expectations thing. Like, why does putting stones here? But you don't expect all of them to live. You just need something to be alive.
Yeah, let's just give an example. Let's go with black, white, black, white. Black says that's all mine. Thank you very much. I have an amazingly big top area.
Yep.
And what you have on the right is over concentrated, small,
Mhm.
pitiful. Yeah. So Q players, and there's some listening or will be listening, they play A. Oh, I better keep A.
Yeah.
I play B. Oh, I need to keep them both and do something with them. No, they just Aji.
Don't defend forcing moves.
Yeah.
What a beautiful concept.
Yeah. And I remember decades ago, when Go was so unusual in the Bay Area, and it's like we start learning Japanese terms, and we're so excited. And Aji, oh, it means a taste. It's just a taste, just just a taste over there.
Yeah.
Nothing serious.
Yeah. Until it kills you. You know. Uh,
And out I go.
yeah. Okay.
So, question here:
hmm
A versus B
I like A.
because
Uh,
it's further away from problem
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. If you play B, then black has a natural attachment at
Yeah.
M11 later or
Okay. Good.
M9 later. So
So A is stronger.
yeah, I like A.
Yeah. If
Safer
B
for
was
sure.
somehow necessary, we'd get along with it. But okay, good. That's what I was hoping.
The what black is doing here is a good lesson on how not to attack your opponent. Actually,
Right.
what even though white is a stick, white is a very thick stick, and
Yeah.
black is making a lot of cutting points and
Yeah. We
cuts
got an
favor.
A peep, and
Yeah, cuts.
actually, the entire black group,
Yeah, it's
I
not even
just see
alive.
it dying. Partly because Q players, when they see a group like this, it's like, oh, I'm so alive. Not really. Of course, it's going to live, but they don't pay attention, so it dies.
Yep.
Okay. I get out.
Again, not a
Oops.
good exchange by black.
Right, right. Black's playing very poorly.
I like
Here,
this stick.
first come this way.
hmm
And now, I honestly did not know. A, B,
Um,
C, D. I can make a reasoning for all these moves. A concerns me because is it cut?
hmm. There's a
I
bit
read A.
of.
You have control. Talk about it.
No, you were gonna say you read A.
And I never felt confident because there's so many black stones there. One little cut, I could die, at least in that area.
Yeah.
So you take it from here. How do I sort these ideas out?
So the first step that I would do is I would just count. And see what the territory looks like. Do you even need A? You can play C anytime. Black's connection at C at the moment isn't exactly Sente.
Right.
Between D is kind of like sort of a normal move. It makes sure that C is not Sente, and it also gives you K17, although comparatively I like the turn a little better. There's a tactic behind this move. I don't know if you want to go into detail with
Please show me a
that.
little bit of detail here.
So the idea is you go like this and then attach on the outside here. Um,
Oh, cute.
this
Huh?
is a
That's
sort
cute.
of tessage that shows up in a few different problem sets. I forget the name, but oftentimes black has to play like this, and then white can just drop down, and white succeeds in reducing the middle and gets a lot on the top for it.
Yeah.
So I would probably go this way just because I don't really see how black refutes it other than extending, in which case you get in and it's more solid than
Yeah.
jumping anyway.
Yeah.
But if A can't be cut, I think A is fine. Given that black has a lot more stones around, though, you probably don't even need to chance it. If the idea is to play A, you can just play the thick move.
So this would not, you wouldn't see this as too slow.
Not really. Slow would imply that there's no follow up, but you actually have a follow up. If black ignores you, you
Ooh,
can start attacking A.
I like that. That's another one to write down. Slow implies it doesn't have a follow up. Oh, I like that. Okay, good, good. Oh, I'm learning so much. I did come in and I'm like, oh, thank you. Thanks. I
Mm,
wiped the sweat from my brow.
mm,
And his turn's bad, so I do it instead.
mhm,
And now I'm questioning my life, so I go, well, this is pretty big, and secures it.
mhm.
I would assume that you would know in a heartbeat if you're alive or not.
Yes, white is alive.
And the co doesn't bother you at all
No, not really.
because it's
Uh,
really almost
yeah,
impossible for black to win the co. Yeah,
yeah, he needs to secure this extension first before he can start it. So
yeah, yeah,
his only real move is connect, and then you just
yeah.
T18 and live.
My go tends to be pretty sloppy. And it's like, well, here I am doing all this stuff, and I've become a small group that's surrounded. Oh, let's just take.
Mhm.
Now I'm not a small group, and I'm absolutely live, and it has such a great follow up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
In terms of end game, I mean, it's fairly big end game for sure.
yeah.
And what does black do?
And this is the game. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, that's Gote. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
bad Gote.
yeah. Talk about Gote. Yeah. And of course,
Um,
I'm looking at this, is this
mhm,
going to work? What's going on here? Pretty interesting stuff.
mhm. Okay.
Your ability to read with clarity and trustworthiness,
Mhm.
that's cheating. That's like,
That's what I tell people all
oh
the
my
time. Reading
God,
is cheating.
if I could do that, I'm sorry, I'd be a pro.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
it's
not really, but
I attribute that to the fact that most of the games I play these days are played with 1 minute, 3 period, 15-second time limits
uh-huh,
on the Fox Ghost server. So I really don't have a lot of time to read.
uh-huh,
So I have to make very fast reads and they have to be accurate or I lose.
yeah,
I mean, it's 50-50, but
yeah.
you know, this push is interesting. Oh, this one. Okay, that
This
makes
push,
sense.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing, I'm seeing things. He's
yeah.
got cuts. He's got this. He's got that.
Mm,
I mean, I'm seeing things like,
yeah.
it's like later on that black group on top could die.
Mm,
I mean, we're talking way off in the future, but there's honest
there's
to
Haji.
goodness weaknesses here.
Yeah, there's Haji.
So I thought, let's press
Mm,
just to see.
mhm.
Here, this one I felt insecure about.
So,
Let me tell you why,
mhm.
and then you'll do the correcting and all your thinking.
Sure.
Okay. I'm trying to find a very aggressive black move. It's like,
Mm,
I don't want to have to go back and live Gote in a tiny corner.
mm,
There's something to be concerned about. This is where the laziness comes in. I'm going big wall. Yeah, I'm strong, but well, instead of figuring out what all that means, what the top is a big area. And why don't I just play? Basically, I'm playing this move, but he still has moves he can play that have size. So I wanted to play this, but then maybe it's weak. But if I play this, I feel that it's stronger, which it turned out not to be.
mm.
And I'm dealing with a center, and now I can get a big top if I go down to two. I thought this was much more flexible.
Okay.
Take it from there.
Okay.
You have
Um,
control if you need it.
sure. So I'll talk about this one in just a second. Um, this type of move we have to be a little bit careful of because we're introducing a very thin shape next to a very thick position.
Yeah.
Anytime we do that, it's subject to harassment by the opponent.
Oh, and did I get harassed here?
So usually when white wants to reduce the wall, it's just here. But the white group itself is perfectly safe. Um,
Agreed.
the the thing that I noticed here is we've got kind of two big-ish areas left, A and B.
Uh huh.
Um, And as white, I really want to try to get both. The left side is slightly bigger than the top, I feel. Because in the whole position, this is the softest black stone. So this is the way that if white wants to bully the center, we should be using this stone to get in. You can't really
Okay.
fight with the wall. The wall is already strong. There's too many stones. But this one is just one stone. It's got a few friends, but they're a bit far away.
Okay.
Um, D15 is a large knight's move. There's a cut there, and H10 is not really in the equation at the moment. We're ahead of him at G8. So for me, this push does bring some Aji, but I don't think you need it yet. Like black is never going to rush to play O10,
That's
so
true.
we can
That's
save
another
that.
bad habit of mine.
But he answered, so it's an exchange. I suppose it's fine. But I think that this for white would be a rather interesting question. It picks up territory. It's another move that leads the G8 group to safety, sort of longer term. It's another friend it can go back home to. And it's really starting to ask questions to black's softest stone in the position. How are you going to handle my follow up on the left? And if you don't handle the follow up on the left, how do you handle when I press you from the center? Because white can play moves like A and B still after, or B and C still after this.
Yeah.
Um, and if black were to, for example, jump to the center, something like this, I mean, that's fine. White can reduce, and white's already got the profit on the left. Now,
Okay.
if black wants to invade, that doesn't live.
Right. Okay. Go back. Okay, black to play. Play D9. Black D9.
You want to get in this way? Okay, separate.
Let's go with F9.
F9 the jump. Okay, turn.
Let's peep H7.
You want to go from below here. Turn.
Back up H6.
Okay, H6. Just keep it simple.
And now we'll start getting nasty with, let's do a D6. Let's just rip your corner apart if you dare. So we can stop there, and you hopefully you can see my worry. My white group on the right has 0 eyes,
Yeah.
and I am surrounded loosely as it is. This isn't something I can just read out. It's like I'm seeing this thing coming up that worries me, so I'm going to lean on the safer side. That's why I didn't play C10.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me, I guess it's just I have unwavering confidence that if black tries to kill me, I'm going to kill black first. The problem with this type of surround and capture idea is you can't actually do this as black if white is too thick. White is too thick.
Right. Thickness is just insanely difficult to kill. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
your
black has nothing but thin stones.
O10 push comes in a lot here too, because there's a cut at A, there's a push at B, a wedge at C, a cut at D.
Yeah.
You know, a knight's move, E, F, G. Like white's actually at this point almost alive, just
Yeah.
on the merits of that alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
for me, it's just like I
Yeah.
look at this and go, "There's no issue."
Okay. So here.
But you could even step it back one, maybe C9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's an important thing for me, and I think for all Go players.
Mm-hmm.
I put this down in my head, a
Mm-hmm.
one move readout, and I look at my A group and I go, what are you, stupid? Of course he can't kill that. There's no way. That's my logical, rational response.
Mm-hmm.
Then why didn't I? Fear.
Mm-hmm.
Fear walks in and I listen to it. I know better than listen to my fear. I've got my bells set. Oh, that was fear. Oops, that was greed. Oops, that's bloodlust. Back off, think again. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. So it was me responding to fear. And this is something Go players do. Yeah, okay. So I go there and I don't want to submit at A or something. I hate submitting. So I thought,
So,
okay,
hmm,
instead of being in fear, I'll be bold. Really? Oh my God.
uh, I like the plan. May I suggest an alternative execution?
Please.
Play forward. You're not fighting for much on the top, so it doesn't really make sense for you to add more stones there. You're alive anytime with this move. So with that in your back pocket, play forward. Everything black wants to do is
Oh,
in the
that's
center.
another thing to write down. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Play forward. I've seen this countless times in strong players when they play.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we going to do about the gap? Weaker player, I better fix.
Mhm.
Well, that's good and fine. But this half fixes as you're doing a whole bunch of other stuff so
Mhm.
that if he does take a stone, it doesn't mean anything anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
play
it's in the
forward.
flavor of
Oh,
Sente.
3 excellent sayings today.
Mhm. I wish I remembered what pros I learned this from, so I
Uh-huh.
could give them attributions, but
Yeah,
I don't remember. To the pros that taught me that, thank you, but I
yeah.
don't remember who it
You,
was.
you you hear me all the time name the pros like, oh, and Mr. Yang, whom I respect beyond measure, had this lovely quote. Oh yeah, I love saying which pro. Jujo said,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got so off track here. I could just lose the game here.
Yeah. You had a chance. You had one chance here in the fight to change your mind.
Show me how where that is and how to do it.
Um, so that was here. You can play this one,
Oh, right you go, right
force
you
the
go. Didn't
capture,
even cross my mind.
and then play forward.
Didn't even cross my mind.
Because if he
Good.
defends, like you're already alive just on
Oh
the
man.
merit of
Yeah,
this or
yeah,
this.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, there you go.
So that line does exactly what I said I wanted to do.
Mm.
I didn't want the points on top. I wanted, yeah, perfect. Man. Okay. So this is so weak. Yeah,
Mm.
it's a liberty race, but I think it's in black's favor. I won it, but I think it's in black's favor personally.
Was E16 necessary?
Um,
I don't
I'm
think it
not
was. That's just me
so
doing a little bit of a reading thing.
just here you're saying?
No, 2 moves back. Here,
Oh,
I
here.
think with this move you don't need it. I think you can just extend to K19 and black dies,
K19.
and then just empty triangle.
Okay. So there's just nothing here.
Yeah, he just dies.
Funny. I I hate being exposed. You did a knee-jerk reaction. You just played without thinking. You're darn right I did.
Yeah.
Man, I could just kill outright. And I've got lots of liberties in the center. Man,
Mm.
when we are in the middle of a game, one loses one's mind because
Oh,
there's
100%.
yeah, the clock's running, your ego's on fire.
Yeah,
He has no right to do that to me.
yeah.
God. Okay, good, good, good.
I
That's
think,
why I like
and
reviews so much.
I mean, I think even though this is maybe a, I guess, messier way to do it, I think it's still fine for white.
It seems, I mean, I feel like I'm walking on the edge here.
Yeah, it's because I look at it because you got E15 without a response. Um,
Uh-huh.
and that move contacted the D15 group. You have a lot of, like, if we take this move away for a second and you just
You
Hane
have control.
D14, like, this is a natural follow up to pushing through on the left that black ignored. But if black answers it, you're already out.
Okay.
So you don't ever have to lose the point at G17. You just live this way. And if he fixes that problem by connecting, he's dead.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, even though we're doing all the fighting in the center, just the fact that you got that unresponded to is already enough.
I
But
see.
white can't lose the position after this?
Yeah. This whole conversation we're having and the reviewer giving me really brings back memories of years ago when I could actually play the game. And I would look calmly.
Mhm.
I'm looking calmly, and I go, "Oh, isn't that nice?"
Yeah.
But now I'm like, "Wait, what about that? What about that?"
Mhm.
Just unsettled in my mind, and it's hard to find them nowadays.
Mhm.
Man, I used to find some wonderful moves. It was so fulfilling.
I saw your Crazy Stone 5 down game. That one was pretty cool. You did some cool stuff in that game.
Well, maybe cool, but
You talk like you
lots of
can't
black.
play, but you still manage to play pretty well if you can beat the AI at 5 down. I'm just saying.
Um, uh, one of my epic games against it was an 8 dan tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to tell the story. We're have some time. Um, I don't know if you ever heard of him. Back then, he was extremely well known. Ned Phipps, super strong, beats pros on a regular basis, and back then that was saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I expect to lose the game. He's at least 2 stones stronger than I am,
Mm-hmm.
but I can play an excellent game when we're going back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, settle down, stay calm, play excellent. So we're going along, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm ahead. I don't see how you can catch up. I know you're going to. You see something I don't, and you're going to be springing it on me. Going along, going, oh, great, 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 great. All of a sudden, there it is. The entire board flips around, and all my positions are crushed. Some I didn't even see coming.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes, oh, I'm despondent. I knew I was no good. I don't know
Yeah.
if other people do this. This is
Yeah.
what I
It's
do.
fairly normal.
And so then I'm like, wait a minute, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
So that was step one. Some people listening are going, well, that's stupid. That's a stupid step. No, that's vital. Okay,
Yeah.
calm down. Step two. Now, here's where I cheated. When you're reading a Go book and it says black to play and live, that's 2 very big, massive pieces of information. First, black to play.
Mm-hmm.
Some problems don't give you have to figure it out. I find that immensely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Next, to play and win. You know you can win.
Yep.
In a real game, you don't know.
Yep.
So I cheated and I said, white to play and win. So it put in my head this assumption it can be done.
Yep.
And I came up with one of the few brilliant moves I've ever played and go. It was brilliant, turned everything back around for a win.
That's nice.
It was
Those
it was
those
memorable.
those stories are some of the best, I think.
Yeah.
And it's very vital. People don't realize the psychology of Go has a lot to
Oh
do with
man.
what you're able to accomplish on the Go board. What you can even see, like 9 times out of 10, you miss something because you don't put yourself in the headspace to look for it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he sprung a Tetsuji. I didn't even realize it was there because you didn't put yourself in the opponent's losing position and ask yourself to find it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times people lose one games because they're so focused on trying to win from that position
Exactly.
that they don't flip it in their mind and play from the
Yeah.
opponent's side and go, okay, I'm losing. How do I win the game from
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
You'll find so many more things that way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So staying calm. Also, um, how many times a game do you need to do that? Oh, well, at least 100. Holy cow. That's hard to do it again and again. Um, when I'm back in the day, I don't know what they do nowadays. When pros played Lightning Go, it
Mhm.
was 30 seconds a move 10 times.
Mhm.
That's what you have. Okay. So we have Chocha Kun sitting down in this game with another pro 9 dan,
Mhm.
and it's he's black, black to play. There goes one 30-second period. One Byoyomi, two Byoyomi, three Byoyomi. Believe he used up 5.
Mhm.
Why? Because he's trying to achieve this mental state of calmness. Let me see the board. There's nothing to see. No, it's in my mind. It's like it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh God, I like that.
Love Chochi-kun. He's probably, besides Shisaku, the most studied pro in my pro study repertoire. A lot of my style is based on Chos.
Yeah.
I was a big fan because I came from classical Go as a teenager. The only Go book I had was Invincible. I picked up sort of, I guess propensity might be the word for playing the Amashi style.
Is that living in your opponent's territory?
That's like the style of taking territory, but giving key points to the opponent and then dangling weak groups around the board, daring them to attack you so that you can over-concentrate them and win with the territory advantage. And Chochi-kun did that a lot in the modern era with Black, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this was a capturing race in this position, right?
Fun stories. Fun stories. And now that part's over. Okay.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? I went ahead and used up the liberties. I didn't want to think about it.
Yeah, just make it alive. And I mean, you're already winning, so it's a pretty clear double-digit point when now you place. And
there's things here, for instance, Tari save. Doesn't something kill here?
Well, you'll always play the connect and then you'll Atari from J19, but it will be a semi-dory for white, and black will gain a lot in endgame.
Yeah, so I'll clean that up.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
I'm still it's just clean it up.
Yeah,
and it's huge in game, big monkey jump, big move.
Yeah, and then you got the big place, and now the game is over. I mean, there's not really much left except the Oyose, but black can't come back from 15, 20 points on this board unless white dies somewhere, and that's never going to happen. So
okay, good. Well, that was really helpful to me. I really appreciate you letting me pick your brain, restate things so I can see it in a clear, straightforward fashion. Yeah, very nice. Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah.
George, thanks for running things in the background. Cool. And viewers, we will catch you next time. Bye.
The other one down the game.